Welcome to Burlington Online. Today, Claire interviews Alan Cutting about the Ukrainian refugee response here in Ipswich. We hope you find this interview really inspiring and that it leads you to pray. Let's go to Claire and Alan right now. So I'm here with Alan Cutting, a member at Burlington, but also someone who's been on a pretty adventurous couple of months serving with Together for Ipswich. Alan, why don't you share a little bit about your role and what you've been up to over the last few months?
Hi, Claire. Yeah. So when things kicked off in Ukraine, which was 24th of February, when the Russian Federation, or at least their military, invaded, Together for Ipswich were asked by the town and the authorities, "What are you going to do?" Churches about the response. So they asked me on the basis of my CV. So yeah, it's got pretty busy really. So I'm heading up the Ukraine response for Together for Ipswich. So for the 85 churches in and around Ipswich, not all of them are hugely actively involved, but there's a real good harmony and unity and coming together of the church to respond to the crisis. So that's been various things like helping hosts to find guests, as we tend to say, using that terminology, and then helping both the hosts and the guests, the local people and the Ukrainians, to make the most of their experience to help to integrate the Ukrainians into town, etc.
Brilliant. So retirement's quiet then, Alan?
Yeah, it was during COVID for a while, but since this has happened, I think I'm on 2,500 emails, and last month in May, I had to prepare for and deliver 16 different public talks
Wow.
to do with it. Well, mostly to do with this anyway. So yeah, it's got a bit busy, but
Amazing,
really
amazing.
enjoying it.
And it does feel like a lot of your experience and how God's used you in the last 20 years is coming together into this role. Why don't you share a little bit about some of the things you're up to presently, a bit of an update on what you're doing, what you're seeing happen across the town? It would be lovely to hear what's going on.
Mm. Well, as Ukrainian families or individual Ukrainians arrive in town, and there are probably approximately 100, I would think, are in town, newly arrived. It's been great to not to own or possess or control anything, but just to seek to facilitate bringing them together, supporting them, listening to them. Obviously, the hosts, those who have welcomed people into their homes, are doing a wonderful job. They're just amazing. Really, really, just giving themselves away to families in that quite intense way. But then one of the wonderful things are the community hubs that have grown up. So there's one at Hope Church and one in Kesgrave. And Elizabeth, with Time to Sow at Burlington, is starting one this week on Wednesday. And whatever the focus of them, because some, be they a sewing group or an English language group, whatever the task focused it is, it's really all about bringing them together. One of the biggest ways that we can help to the trauma response, really, the displacement troubles that people have when coming out of their home country at a time like this, is really to help them to find one another, to someone that they can speak their own language to, not to smother them with love, but to give them space, to open doors. And it's this sort of role that we're having. So the community hubs are one of the main one of the main things, and very exciting things to have happened. So regularly every week there's probably at least 30 newly arrived Ukrainians, probably 40, engaging with those Christian-based hubs in the town.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, we're praying for Elizabeth and the team from Time to Sow as they begin this week, knowing that they're excited but nervous. So we'll pray for them this week as well. But Alan, what can we pray for you in your role, but also for the Ukrainian response across the town?
I think we do need a lot of wisdom. Very often the enthusiasm causes some people almost to panic or to rush into certain decisions that should really be slept on for a while. We're also coming through that initial stage and into something that's far more sort of honest and real in a sense. When we're, as we say, when the cameras have gone, when things have just calmed down a little bit as far as the UK media is concerned. But to be honest, Claire, facing us ahead are some massive, massive issues. So just imagine the 6 months that our government asked if hosts would be prepared as a minimum to host. That's going to be what, October, November. You know what else is going to happen? The cold weather's kicking in, the bills are going up. The dispersal of refugees from big hotels is actually going to happen by another government strategy as well. So just imagine October, November. You know, we're saying in preparation for that to the Ukrainian families, learn English, get a job, get a home. But you know, they are massive issues. But that's the reality of what we're facing in the next few months. So we're praying into that. We've got some very strategic thinkers working with the powers that be on that as well. But no clear answers at the moment. So that's what we're praying for, really.
And very short timescales in you know, I mean, to say and do all of that in 6 months is unbelievable, really. So a massive stretch for everyone trying to make decisions and find funding and all of those things.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, so much for us to pray for and to continue supporting you with. Alan, if people wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that? What's the best way of getting in touch with you, providing support and prayer? How can people do that?
Well, if they want to be a part of the team, as it were, and there are various roles that we can offer to people, info@togetherforipswich.uk is probably the best way. And yeah, I'd be pleased to hear from you. Any comments, any thoughts that you have, any questions that you have, please feel free to address them to me at info@togetherforipswich.uk.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Alan. We'll keep praying and we're grateful for you keeping us in touch with what's going on. Every
Thank you so
blessing.
much, Claire. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.